Welcome to Not Just a Transaction, the podcast series hosted by experienced real estate authorities Nick Prefontaine and Zachary Beach. Each week, the hosts bring you expert guests to help you navigate the many creative options available for buying or selling a home, while cutting out the costly hurdles of a conventional real estate deal. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Not Just a Transaction. I'm your host, Nick Prefontaine, along with my co-host, Zachary Beach. And today we wanted to bring on someone very special to the team here at Pre-Property Solutions.
Very special.
Very special. You're going to be finding out when you get to the point that you do work with us that you're going to be dealing with Sue a lot of the times. She is our operations manager here at Pre-Property Solutions. Sue was born and raised in Newport, Rhode Island, and has been involved in the real estate field for over 30 years. She worked in several real estate offices over the years, and that has made her very familiar with the industry. She was introduced to the rental model Pre-Property Solutions had to offer back in 2015. She was quite impressed by the opportunity they had to offer to those buyers who could not get their own loan and would normally not be able to purchase their own home. Sue enjoys assisting and educating clients about the unique options that Pre-Property Solutions has to offer. She likes getting clients to the finish line, whether they are looking to sell or purchase their own home. She has a positive energy and a seasoned executive assistant skill set. She currently resides in Newport and enjoys spending time with her son, daughter-in-law, and most importantly, her grand dog, Henry. So, Sue, with that introduction, I just wanted to welcome you to the show.
Thank you,
Nick. Not just a transaction.
Welcome, Sue. I think you meant to say that most importantly, you spend it with the lovely Pre-Property Solutions team.
Well, I do spend more time with you guys than I do with my grand dog, Henry.
Well, I expect to see Henry more often then.
We haven't even met Henry, Sue.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture.
Okay. All right, deal. We'll compromise on that.
All right.
Sue, now that you've been involved with Pre-Property Solutions for a few years, you have seen a lot of buyers come full circle. That is coming in and meeting with us for a buyer's meeting and also getting to the finish line of getting their own loan. What part about getting buyers to the finish line motivates you on a daily basis?
Well, I would say, as we all have heard, that, buying your own home is the American dream. And we afford the opportunity to people to do that who normally would not have that opportunity. And that's amazing. It does. It motivates me every day to see who else we can help out to get their own loan and purchase their own home.
Because
fulfill that dream.
Yeah, because that is important to us. And Zach can probably he could probably back me up on this, but he hears me. We're right next door to each other. He hears me daily when we are in the office working together. That I'm on the phone with buyers and lenders and trying to get everything all together so they will be able to get their own loans. So it's important for me as well. So that's great that you share that. You share that motivation. Take us through what a normal day of working with Zach and I at Pre-Property Solutions looks like.
Well, not only assisting you and Zach as the buyer and seller specialists, but definitely working closely with our current buyers, assisting them with anything that they need, whether it be what oil company to use or, something bigger on what lenders we can refer to them when they are ready to finance. So I work very closely with the tenant buyers throughout the process. I'm their main point of communication. And then, of course, if I need assistance with any of that, I call you, Nick.
Awesome. Sue, you kind of have your hand in roughly, every single thing that happens at this office here now. And it's not that you didn't have the opportunity to be able to work on maybe the seller side. What made you choose to kind of work more with the buyers? What attracted you to work in that end of the business?
Again, it's how much we help them out to purchase their own home, which is a huge, it's a huge thing for people. And they get disappointed when they can't purchase their own home for, themselves and their families. So a lot of it for me is the relationships that we establish with people.
Mm-hmm.
I like that close contact.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, Sue, tell me, now that you've worked with a number of buyers, and I know this is a little bit off the cuff, and I didn't get prepared, but what do you feel as though is maybe a common mistake that a buyer makes while they're in our process that we typically would have to have multiple conversations around in order to get them to the finish line still?
I think a big problem for most of our buyers is their lack of communication, whether it's because they're a little embarrassed or nervous about the whole process, or they don't think that they have a high enough credit, or that they're doing enough to raise their credit score. They kind of stay missing in action for those reasons when, communicating with us would just help them so much more.
Seems like a broken record, huh, Nick? We actually had an entire podcast which was based on why communication is important. So, Nick, I don't know if you just want to drop 2 cents on that subject while we're sitting here.
Well, I think we have beat the proverbial horse to death on that. Talking about why communication is important for all of our clients, whether, a buyer or a seller, or even before you do identify your property and you're thinking about doing a rent-to-own deal and thinking about working with us. Just communication is key. And another important thing that I'll mention here, and Sue, I'm not sure if you've gotten a chance to look at your email yet today, but one of our tenant buyers who's only been in one of our properties 6 months told me that he's okay. I'm ready to go ahead and get my own financing now. I was thinking of going down to my bank and doing this approval and doing that, and I just told him, well, we've already done a lot of the work for you. Let me get you connected with the great person who we use. And our episode is actually has aired in the past now when you're listening to this message, but it's just, it's great to see. It's great to see and get buyers to the finish line where they are able to get their own loan. And that's the whole goal of working with us to begin with, is that you are going to be able to get your own loan.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I'd just love to ask the flip side there, because we do have a 97% completion rate from our first buyer in our property. So it's extremely high for the industry in itself. I mean, like probably 10 times higher than most of the industry out there. Sue, what have you noticed that the buyers that go through less rocky stages throughout the process, what's the number one thing that they do? I mean, past communication, what's the number one thing that they do that allows them to make their transition easier in their success when it comes to buying their own home?
I think if they follow the process that we give them, At the very beginning, you know, with the buyers meeting, it's a simple process to get through if you follow it. Some of them kind of do their own thing once in a while. And, you know, it just doesn't turn out the way that it should.
Makes it harder on themselves, right, Sue?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Here's the simple process. If you go from A to B, you get success. But all of us decide to take at least one dirt path off the main road before we come back.
Jump from A to C first.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Nick, I know you had some other questions for Sue. I'll let you hop back in there.
Yeah, Sue, like now like any business, we all have our learning experiences. Over the years, what is the one that you can point to that you and the team at Pre-Property Solutions has learned the most from?
Ooh, that's a tough one. You know, you learn something new every day. I would say the biggest thing, again, I'm going to go back to the communication. You know, with technology, we have the ability to text people a lot, and a lot of people have fallen into that, you know, into that realm. It's just easier, it's quicker than getting on the phone, but actually making the phone call and connecting with people that way live, hearing each other's voices. I think that's probably the biggest lesson that I've learned along the way. Just pick up the phone.
I didn't know, we didn't go over your answers, and I didn't know how you would answer that. I just gave you a list of questions that I wanted to cover. And I'm really happy you said that, because we always make it a point. Well, I can say myself personally, I always make it a point that I want to talk to someone. I don't want to just text them back and forth, even if they're a buyer of ours already in our home. I want to talk to them and hear their voice and hear their tonality and what they're going through and how we can best help them. I think you really learn a lot by hearing someone's voice. So I'm glad you answered the question that way.
Yeah, I think it's important for them too, because they, you know, they know that we're here for them throughout the whole process, and not just behind a, you know, a phone or a screen, or it's just a more personal touch.
We're not just a computer answering
Right, exactly.
a computer
Exactly.
program. My next question is a little tongue in cheek, but because you're not getting up and punching the clock to work in the salt mines every day, what makes you want to get up every day and work with the team at Pre-Property Solutions?
I would say the actual team environment that has been created. Everybody's always willing to, you know, go above and beyond to help each other out. It's fun. You know, it's great to wake up in the morning and not, you know, be in a bad mood about having to go to work. It's a great environment. The team's wonderful.
All right, Sue, stop talking about Zach now. He's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my computer's gonna die. So with that being said, my head is enormous, Sue. Thank you for wanting to hang out with us every day. Appreciate that. That's why I floated off the screen there.
That big, yeah.
No, I love it. Sue, you're a fantastic part of the community here.
Thank you.
As we continue to maybe wrap up this Not Just Transactions podcast, Sue, is there anything that we didn't ask you that you wanted to, you know, talk to the buyers, talk to the sellers out there? I think we didn't ask you that you know, love to communicate here.
Just trust in the process. You know, it's been created, it works. Statistics show, you know, as Zach had said, 97% success rate. It works. Just follow the process and just do what we ask you to do.
So I think this is a great way to end. Why is it not just a transaction for you?
For me, it's the relationships that are formed, not only with my team, but with buyers, seeing them struggle in the beginning and then go through our process and purchase their own home and just be so excited and so happy that they were able to do so.
Well,
So
that's
for me,
awesome.
For me, it's the relationships.
Well, couldn't have said it better myself, Sue. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, thank you, Sue, for coming on Not Just a Transactions podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast and you're a buyer or a seller out there, please go ahead and fill out the Contact Us form on the Pre-Property Solutions website. And also make sure that you tune into next week's episode where we release every single Wednesday. And also, if you are out there listening, please write us a review. We would greatly appreciate that, because to us, this is not just a transaction.
No, it isn't. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not Just a Transaction. If you want to learn more on selling a home, buying a home, or resources to learn more, head on over to our website at originalre.com.